Hello everybody and welcome back to round 2 of the Limitless Invitational Qualifier 1. Last round you saw me take down a Baby Blounds, and this time, I'll say it a little bit ahead of time I guess, I'm up against a Cinccino Mill. So another matchup that I feel relatively confident in a lot of scenarios. I think it is pretty sort of close, and it's kind of down to the early turns as to who's favourable in the matchup. But this time I'm playing Mawile to try and put more Zacians on my opponent's bench to try and win in 2 attacks rather than 3. And I'm also playing 3 regular catchers, which can mean I can gust around the dolls. I'm not playing Fiona, but the catchers kind of make up for that. So yeah, I feel the matchup, this build of ADP is slightly more favourable with the flip catchers, slightly more favourable against Cinccino Mill. A start Zacian, which isn't ideal, but we do have access to ADP plus energy pretty nicely. And I'm going second as well, which means I can either go for the Guzhala route straight away, or I can go for a research and try and build up a big hand and search for some other stuff. So I do indeed go for the tag call, grabbing an ADP and a Cinlin. I then go for the other tag call, just grabbing all 4 of those outs. Basically, I never want to see the second second ADP. The Cinlin could be quite useful, but also thinning it out of the deck so we don't draw it with Intrepid Sword I feel is quite important. Shrine does nothing in the matchup, like I say, nor does the ADP, so we can quite happily discard this. Again, at this point we still don't have any deck lists, so I can't be sure how many Stadium he plays, but either way I know I'm going to be getting some good value from this Swell, so I do Swell turn 1, and then I Intrepid Sword, which is nice. He gets the Faber turn 1, which is pretty big. I mean, arguably I should have attached the Metal there to play around the Faber, and I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that was a misplay on my part. I wasn't playing around the Faber turn 1. As you can see, I kind of slow my turn down here because I'm super stuck for what to do. My other Aurora is prized. I only play 1 Aurora and 1 unit, so I now know that I'm going to have to take 6 individual prizes unless I can find the Aurora off the prizes at some point. So at that point, it means I'm kind of locked into. I'm kind of locked into having to start attacking rather than going for this ADP. Again, it was a misplay on my part. I definitely should have played around the Faber, but hey ho, I couldn't do. I couldn't take it back. But I do get the Intrepid Sword. I decide not to do much else with this hand. I don't want to custom anything up because ideally this Cinccino stays in the active and we can get a knockout on it. Arguably we could go for the Zacian and try and win that way, but I'm not going to just bring up the Zacian because of this exact reason here. He's put up a doll, so I want to wait until I'm guaranteeing value out of these customs. I do hit an energy and then he goes for his pretty standard turn. Still no Cincinos, which is really big for me. He does have a huge hand right now. So I'm going to go for this Zacian to try and find this Aurora. Also to try and race. You need to really try and race this deck. He has a huge hand, so I go for the Marnie. I know there's no Cincinos in there currently, but even so, I want to get this hand back so he has less options, ideally. Being able to take this Zacian out whilst he has no Cincinos on board is also really, really nice. And shuffling away a huge hand as well. So yeah, I go for the Stellar Wish, don't take anything, and then go for the Wily Bite. So not the Wily Bite, sorry, the Captivating Wink to see if he has any other 2 prize Pokemon. I don't put the other Cinccino down. He's probably going to He's probably going to put it down himself. But in the case that he doesn't, you know, I don't know that I want him to have 4 Cincinos down. Maybe on reflection it was correct to do that, just to force him to have less bench spots. So yeah, maybe it was actually correct to put the Cinccino down there. But then I just go for the 2 prize knockout, hoping for the Aurora, and I miss it, unfortunately. But that's okay. We're then going for... So as you can see, he does have that initial Cinccino. He then drops another Zacian down, which is really, really big, because my win con is accelerated again. Yes, we have a lot of gust in this deck, so we're really trying to gust up these Zacians, and I do manage to hit heads on this catcher, which is really nice. I already have the switch, and I hit another catcher from the Stellar Wish, so I'm feeling pretty good, as long as I can keep applying pressure. Starting to set up another attacker here, which is really nice. This Mawile is able to knock out Cinccino's pretty cleanly, as long as he has 3 Pokemon on the board, which he pretty much always does, because they want a lot of Cinccinos out to be able to trade through their deck. So I'm taking another 2 prizes here. I hit a custom, and unfortunately I still miss the Aurora, but at this point it doesn't matter too much. Having to take 1 knockout and ADP is kind of similar to having to take 2 knockouts. Ideally, ADP is better because it means you don't have to gust twice, you only have to gust once. But even so, I'm pretty happy about this situation. He only has 1 doll out right now as well, which is really nice. It means that he's going to have to really dig for some dolls. I just see him discard another one from the Belaber as well. I'm down to 16 cards. I'm feeling kind of scared, but I know there's still access to Marnie in my deck, which is nice. Here's the tails on the hammer. I don't think it mattered too much, but that being said, you know, maybe he had multiple and he only wanted to play one if he play more if he hit the first one. I'm not sure. I don't know why he would ever do that, but maybe it would have changed a lot more than I think. But yeah, I start to I managed to gust up another Pokemon, and I'm able to take a knockout with the Wily Bite here. We do find the Aurora this time. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, but a little bit too late for the GX attack at least, but not too late for the game. All we need is 1 more gusting effect, and I believe I have 1 custom left in the deck. So basically, I'm just going to be digging for this custom. I have to be careful how much I dig, just from sort of being able to him being able to burst out a lot of discards. So I really have to think about how much I want to dig. I do have the energy to start powering this Zacian up though, which is nice. And instead of digging, I decide to just get rid of his only doll for now. I feel like I have a little bit of a window before he starts to really put pressure on me. Arguably, I should have dug there just to try and guarantee the catcher in hand so he can't randomly Belaber it away here. But if I were to dig and try and find the catcher and miss it, all of a sudden his life gets a lot easier. So I decide to sort of give him a bit of a turn of breathing room, just to try and get rid of his only doll. I've seen at least 1 in the discard, 1 more in the discard. As you can see, there's 2 in there right now, so he only has 2 left. So maybe he's able to, maybe he's going to miss one. You know, I don't feel I have to dig immediately. So yeah, that's why I go for that line of play. It looks like he's really digging for this doll here. Finds a Mewtwo. At the moment, he's having to leave the Cinccino active, though. I'm able to take out one of his air balloons. I think both of his air balloons are gone now, so he needs to find an energy as well as a doll, which is pretty big. And he's taking his time, probably thinking about what he wants to bench here. Goes for the Com, and is combing in probably another Cinccino out. Yeah, he does grab a Cinccino. I played against a fair few Cinccino Mills yesterday. I think it was 3, so the games kind of merge into 1. He does find the doll. So all he needs now is an energy or a balloon. He does find the balloon as well. And now I really do want to try and find... He puts the second doll down as well. So I really do want to try and find some gusting here. I top deck a catcher and I do hit heads, unfortunately. Pretty anticlimactic game. But yeah, that's why we play the catchers, to try and do that against the mill decks. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and make sure you join me in round 3 for another game from the Limitless Invitational.